This is Dirshu Mishnah Berurah, Simin Yud Beis, concluding Sif Aleph, Beis and Gimel. We'll begin with an apology. I profusely apologize that the shir is so late. This is the shir from yesterday, the second day of Yontif. Obviously, with Chol Hamoed and everything, it became a little bit difficult. But B'siyata Dishmaya, going henceforth, the shirim should be up on time. All the learning has been generously sponsored. B'siyata Dishmaya, as a schos ilu neshama of Chaim Mordechai ben Naftali Tzvi, whose yahrzeit is coming up in Mir Tashem right after Yontif of Chav Zayin Nisan. The learning of the entire Chabura, learning on Pesach, what could be greater, should bring Chaim Mordechai ben Naftali Tzvi to higher place in Gan Eden Shel Maila. So we begin from the middle of Sif Aleph. We're going to have to remind ourselves of that which we saw at the beginning of Sif Aleph, but the Shulchan Aruch, the Mishnah Berurah, is going to do that job for us, as we'll see. So we begin with the top of the Amid that says, Rabbeinu Tam loy machshirim el b'nishtaru shnei chutin shleimim. We're in the middle discussing that if your tzitzis strings get ripped, how much has to be left in order to be kosher. Says the Mechaber, says Rav Yosef Kairei, Rabbeinu Tam holds, it's only going to be kosher if you have left 2 complete strings. Tahainu, what does that mean? Arba Rashim, 4 ends. As we know, you have 4 strings which are doubled over the other side. So you need 2 complete strings, meaning you have 2 and 2 to be left. Mirashim, Gudalin, and each one of them has to be left 12 Gudalim long, which everyone realizes already begins a very big chomrah, as we saw in the first sheet of this Mechaber, that if you have only Kedei Aniva, a little bit left of each of the strings, that would suffice. But that is Shitas Rabbeinu Tam, and let's see further. Oz machshirim, then it's kosher. Shenifsku hashnei chutim achirim, when 2 other strings rip. Im nishtar b'em kedei aniva, if there is left in them kedei aniva. If 3 of them raid off, even if those remain kedei aniva, psulim, then it's going to be puzzle. And because of this, if 3 ends are cut, remember that we were reminded that when you make tzitzis, you should keep the 4 on this side and the 4 on this side. You should not make them mixed up. So if you did not do that, therefore you don't know where all 4 come from, and 3 of them are cut. So now you don't know which 3 are they. Maybe they're 3 different strands. And you're only going to have 1 string left that's complete. If only 2 ends are called machshirim b'chdei aniva, then it would be enough if the amount that's left is the tie a slip. Now, v'alacha kisvar rishayna. So Pask is the Mechaber, generally psak for Ashkenazim. We go with the svar rishayna, the first opinion, which the Mishnah Berurah will explain to us in a moment. That's the more makel opinion. It's better to be chayshish for Rabbeinu Tam. Says the Ramah. Psak for Ashkenazim usually. We're noigim Rabbeinu Tam. We're noig for Rabbeinu Tam, so we need to have a lot more of our tzitzis left. Haga, another Haga. The kol shkinim dik shein nikarim arba rashim zarecha v'nitzku shleisha rashim zarecha de basel. If you made them 4 on each of their own sides, and then 3 heads are cut off, so certainly 3 strings are lacking, then it's for sure a problem. Says the Ramah, even if on 2 sides it's puzzle, because maybe you don't know, maybe it comes from 3 different strands. So let's see the Mishnah Berurah right away, in which he explains to us in Sifkatan Ches ul Rabbeinu Tam. What's the reason, says the Mishnah Berurah, of Rabbeinu Tam? Ta'imai deshnei chutim shein daled anu noistim b'makom techeles. Says the Mishnah Berurah, we put 2 strings, which of course is the doubled into 4. We put them in the place of the tcheles, and 2 strings which are 4 we make for the whites. And you need to have at least 1 complete, and that is the reason why this is Shita of Tzitzis, and that is where the reason Rabbeinu Tam is more machmir. Continues the Mishnah Berurah. Im loydikti kasha. Ask the Mishnah Berurah. I don't understand. Certainly, if you're a medaktik, certainly it should be a problem that if you kept each of them on their own sides, then then it should be even better. Excuse me, then it should be worse for you. It says the Gemara, it says the Mishnah, not the Gemara, it says Mishnah Berurah v'yesh laimar denakil loy dikdik mishum seifa demasayim. It only says because of the end of the case. Avalim loy nechlu al shnei rashim. Let's say only two ends were cut off. And therefore it's kosher if you have the little bit left. That's only if you were not precise in keeping the four on either side. If you were precise, that you have four on this side and four on this side, and you made sure that they were separate strings. And now what happens? Two heads are missing. Kosher, because you have on the other side. Because if these, again, you have your four strings and two are fully cut off, says Mishnah Berurah it's kosher because you have two on the other side. If two are cut from either end, so basically when you look at your tzitzis and you see the one or two strands are severed, the important detail is going to be to say, are they on one side or are they on two sides? If what happens is, you have two strings that are missing, here you have 4 and 4. If you're missing one over here, and you're missing one on this side, then it's a very serious problem, because you don't know, maybe they're two different strings. Again, in this kushnei mishnei sadim, then because then what might happen? There might be one complete string, and you don't have the right amount of strings. What are you left with? You always need to have 4 strings. So if two, again, let's show this together, let's make this clear. If two from one side are missing, and you made tzitzis properly, says Mishnah Berurah, as long as you have k'chdei aniva, that'll be fine. But if it's missing from separate ends, it's going to be an issue. That's the kula shita that we're machshir b'chdei aniva sefkat and yod is going back. Actually, that's the next one. Certainly you can make a bracha. So the take-home point over here is of course we want to be machmer like the second shita of Rabbeinu Tam, but if one is in a bind, the tzitzis rip and one not, one could be mekel and even make a bracha like the first shita. Says the mechaber sefbeis heichel detzarech kedei aniva. Wherever Kedei Aniva is required, again, Kedei Aniva is that little bit to tie a slip knot. But because the strings are so thick, you can't tie a slip knot around it. But if they were thin strings, you would be able to tie it. Of course, we're splitting hairs, teeny little bits, kosher. And we go with medium-sized strings. Says Mishnah Berurah, Sefkat Yebei's kosher, just that they are too thick. And now we see Sef Gimel as we conclude Simin Yud Beis. Says the Mechaber Kedei Aniva, this measurement of Kedei Aniva, Rashi Min Anaf. According to Rashi, where do you measure it? It's measured from the Anaf. But according to the Ri, I feel like Kol Anaf. Even if all the strings, the anaf being the wavy part, being this area. So Rashi measures Kedei Aniva over here. The Ri says even if all these strings are done, and you only have Kedei Aniva from the knotted area, kosher minagaylam kirashi, we paskin like Rashi, which everyone's realizing is going to be pretty hard to pass a lot on tzitzis. B'diavad. Says Mishmur Sefkatin Yid Gimel Yishlis B'chal Ari U'Motilov Jabegi Lov Seval Kasav. Hey, Chada Efsher Toiv Lachsh as far as I've been a time. Peirushay. Hey, Chadav Shalim so Bekal Tzachayram, which of course nowadays, where can't you find tzitzis? Can you even order them to come to your door tomorrow? Aval Ein Sarch Lachzer Achareim Emein Mizumanam Lefanov. If they're not right in front of you, Oishis Bat like these Mitzvah B'Tzibur, you're going to miss Tefillah B'Tzibur. V'Hacha Kasav, by us it says, V'Echatulay Efsher. Hainu B'Makom Shein Nimsayin Tzitzis Klal, you can't find tzitzis, then Yish Nus L'Chalari. She was pointing out, it's a bigger level B'Diavad over here. Kol Makom Le'Yivarich Lav Don't Make a Bracha, V'Gam Aser Latzis B'Beshavas L'Shas Arabim. Basically, to go like the Ri, again, the Ri said that we say that all of these could be severed as long as you have over here is very shver. Because it's like sas megadol mamish. V'da says Mishnah Berurah. T'chol zeh ino yinilin if like achot b'makom hanekev. Again, he reminds us that if you have part of the string that is cut off, b'makam and nekef. Over here, the part connected to the beged, tisham afil pasal min ha'tayro. Pasha d'chshen if salam ha'tzitzis arch lefash, you got to take it off. V'lemahani lamed alam d'shlich dalaramas doesn't help just not to walk dalaramas, can't even wear them. Dein did dalaramas aloich tzitzis. The din of dalaramas is only to walk without tzitzis, but you can't even wear them for a moment. Gam liyitakin ha'tzitzis ba'iratal salav elapaishtayu mitaknai. Rather, you just have to take the tzitzis off and you have to fix them. And it's another reason, like we saw from the Shita of the Taz, that when you're going to check your tzitzis, the most important part is going to be this part. It's going to be the easiest to passel you. And we'll pick it up from Simin Yud Gimel in next year. B'siyata Tishmai.